Scholsey for me is the most natural footballer I've ever seen in my life. That guy was an absolute joke of a player, honestly. Oh, no, mate, no chance at all. No, I don't know if you know anything about my past and how I got into football and got started and all that kind of stuff. But basically, I left school at 16, and I was a chef for 2 years until the age of 18. Never played for an academy or anything like that. Just luckily, I was playing for my local sort of semi-pro team one Tuesday night, and a scout from Stoke City saw me, and the rest is history. Went and signed for Stoke, and then it went from there. So, no, never ever was it. I just want to be a footballer, because it was never really an option for me when I was younger. It kind of just, I wouldn't say it sort of fell into my lap, but it wasn't until I got sort of to the age of about 18 when I had a bit of a growth spurt. My body sort of started connecting, and everything started to make a bit more sense to me, that I realised, oh, actually, I'm half decent at doing this. No, God, no. I was miles off it, mate. I didn't have a clue. Nobody had a clue, to be fair. I think it was just, they were just taking a bit of a stab in the dark and hoping for the best with me, to be honest with you. They probably looked at me, saw I had the size, they saw that I kicked it well, and then they just kind of basically hoped that they could mould me into some kind of a goalkeeper. I remember when I first signed for Stoke City at the age of 18, I was on 250 quid a week, and I was basically like the youth team, reserve team goalkeeper. And even then, when I first signed, I wasn't even the first choice like youth team or reserve team goalkeeper. You know, there were other people ahead of me in the pecking order. So yeah, like I say, it's not until probably I got to 18, 19, 20 where I really started to think, actually, do you know what? I think I can probably do this. And you focus on it a bit more, become a bit more professional, because you got to bear in mind, I didn't know how to be professional. I didn't know how to eat well. I didn't know how to be physically fit, all that kind of stuff. So I think when you get a little bit older, 20, 21, you start to do a lot more gym work and think about your body and all this kind of stuff. And then, like I say, my brain started making sense with the rest of my body. And that was when I started going out on loan, and that's where it really starts kicking off for you. Yeah, so I was actually out on loan at Wrexham at the time, and we had just played in like the lower league trophy. It was like the Aldi v Vans trophy final back then. And at Wrexham, we had Darren Ferguson playing for, who is the son of Alex Ferguson. And whilst we were playing the game on the big screen, it was at the Millennium Stadium there. It was years ago. And on the big screen at half-time, it kind of, just as half-time went, it sort of zoomed in to Alex Ferguson. So his face appeared on the big screen. And I remember sort of playing and looking up and thinking, Jesus Christ, Alex Ferguson's here watching. This is incredible. I actually did really well in the game, made a few saves. We won the final. And then it was probably a couple of weeks after that, Darren actually grabbed me and he was like, Ben, listen, I don't know what your contract situation is at Stoke, but I just need to let you know my dad's really watching you for Man United. He's sending Tony Coton, the goalie coach, out to the games now until the end of the season to watch you, but they're really keen on you. So straight away, my ass just fell out, mate. Like, it was like, oh my God, this is ridiculous. Like, and he was like, listen, don't tell anyone. So as soon as I got in the car, I was on the phone to everyone going, oh my God, listen to this, listen to this. But yeah, that's how it came about. So luckily, the end of the season came, and Man United made the bid for me, came in, signed me, and that was it. I was a Man United player. I think the better way to describe it was a lot of lows and a few. It's all right, mate. I don't mind. I'll say it. It's fine. It is what it is. No, mate. Listen, it's for me, Man United. Obviously, it never works out on the field, but I think something like that, I just think you can't help but learn from it. You know, you can't help but take so many positives from it. You know, like I say, there were a lot of negatives and stuff didn't go great for me, but I learned so much, not only as a footballer but also as a human being. You know, I had a great mentor in Edwin van der Sar, who taught me so much on the pitch and off the pitch as well. Working with people like Sir Alex Ferguson and playing with some of the best players in the world, you can't help but learn so much. So like I say, it might not have worked out for me on the pitch, but I took so much from it that I think it really did hold me in good stead going forward for the rest of not only my football career, but my life as a human being as well. Yeah, for sure. Like I remember my very first training session, I was doing a bit of goalkeeping with Tony Coton, the goalie coach, and it wasn't my turn to work, so I'm just watching like the lads train kind of thing, and they were doing some sort of crossing and finishing sort of exercise, and somebody's played a ball to Paul Scholes, and he sort of adjusted his body just tinily and played this first time half volley pass, like cross field 60 yards. And I literally, it must have been involuntary, but I've just gone, wow. And straight away, Tony Coton, who's not even looking, he's just still serving balls. He kind of gives me a glance and I go, was it Scholsey? And I was like, yeah, it was Scholsey. And he said, like, mate, he does it all the time. That's Scholsey for you. And that was it. Like, that's why I've always said Scholsey for me is the most natural footballer I've ever seen in my life. That guy was an absolute joke of a player, honestly. Yeah, it's just usual, mate. Honestly, he was effortless. He used to glide with the ball. You'll never see anybody be able to strike a ball as purely as what Paul Scholes did. If there was a meter of 100% of each strike of how pure it was, like virtually every one of his was at 100%. He got all of the ball and nothing else. That for me is probably my most goosebump inducing moment. Probably one of the proudest moments of my footballing career, along with making my England debut, was winning that cup final with Blues. And I know it's, people will say it's only the League Cup final, but it was to do it with the underdogs. Blues at the time, we were lower, probably near the bottom of the half of the table. Arsenal were the big dogs. They were the ones that were surely going to win. And we went there that day and we upset the odds, and we did it not only with what we did on the pitch, but as a group of lads, we genuinely believed we could do it, and we did. And honestly, it was so good. I still watch videos now, and like I say, the goosebumps that you get, it was incredible. And it was a shame that season, it just took so much out of us. We won the cup final, we gave it everything we had, and it just zapped the players of all their energy going forward for the rest of the season, and ultimately ended up with us getting relegated, which was a massive shame, because it's a proper club, Birmingham. I know they're going through a bit of trouble at the minute, and I wish them the best, because they're a sleeping giant of a football team. Yeah, I loved it. I think West Brom will always be my team that I support. My kids were born when, they were at Man United, but then when we quickly moved to back to the Midlands for Birmingham and West Brom, the kids grew up watching West Brom. So my kids are West Brom fans, and I'll always be a West Brom fan as well. I think I spent 7 or 8 years there, and I can honestly say that just every single one of them days going in was just an absolute pleasure. The great bunch of lads that I worked with, the team, the fans, everybody connected with the club, people behind the scenes, the chefs, the dinner ladies, the people in the office there, literally just friends for life. And when I eventually did leave and went to Watford, it was a bit of a wrench, to be perfectly honest with you, but it was for footballing reasons, and it was a shame it came to that end. Yeah, it was. That's exactly what it was. It was very easy to sign for Watford because I knew the club already. I'd already spent 2 years on loan there earlier in my career when I was younger. So I knew everything about the club. And there was actually quite a few people at the club that I actually still knew as well. Craig Cathcart, I was at Man United with. Tom Cleverley, I was at Man United with. Troy Deeney was there. And I knew these people anyway, so it was very easy to sign. Aurelio Gomez was the goalkeeper at the time, and I've got to say it was so nice to sign for a football club, and great bunch of lads. But having Aurelio Gomez there as well, who was just like, he was my number 2, but he was just like my biggest fan. He was such a wicked guy, honestly. He was always there for me, helping me, supporting me. Made it so easy to move in and get on with everybody. And still there today, still playing today, and even though you think I've retired and I'm a YouTuber now, but yeah, people don't really know me for football anymore. They know me for YouTube. Honestly, the amount of people that call me like the cycling GK or cycling or something like that now, and they will always come up and say like, "Love your videos. I love it. Honestly, thank you. They're wicked." Blah blah blah. And that is the bit that makes me go, wow, this is like YouTube's incredible, honestly. Like there's other social media platforms out there, all your Twitters and Instagrams and all that kind of stuff. And I can say they are social media platforms, whereas YouTube is it's more like a community. It is like there's a lot of very nice people in the YouTube community, and like I say, some of the comments I get, some of the love I get from the fans that watch it, makes it all worth it. But I think they really just do enjoy this kind of unique content where they've never really been able to see behind the curtain to football like I show them. You know, I show them like warts and all. Basically, I'll show them exactly how it works, how we travel to games, the food that we get, the relationships we might have with some of the staff, some of the other people that work at the football club. And I just like to sort of humanize being a footballer a bit more, because I think everybody kind of puts footballers on pedestals and makes them out to be these kind of like demigods or something. And that we're not, honestly, we genuinely are just normal people. And I know I've been in the game for a long time, so I'm very comfortable in the football surroundings and stuff, but I can honestly say that they are just normal blokes at the end of the day. Yeah, sure. I think I'm still not sure how long I'm going to keep playing football for. I have said a few times that I'd love to go out to the States and play in America for a year. I know a lot of people would love to see like the GoPro in the goal back in America or something. Americans they're so much more receptive to this kind of stuff anyway. You know, you see like the cameras in the lockers after the games and all that kind of stuff. So they have so much more access. So I think people would genuinely buzz off what it looks like to go out to the States and play football, because there's been so many English players that have gone abroad, gone out to America and stuff, and I've never seen what that journey looks like. You know, I don't know where they live, I don't know what they get up to. You know, do they live in LA, do they go to Hollywood all the time? Do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. What does it look like? So I would love to be the guy that shows everybody exactly how it goes down when you sign for a team in America. And no, I think it's a whole massive new market for us to explore and go and do stuff like that. Plus there's so much more cycling you can do out in America. Can you imagine, like, you'll be wearing like t-shirts and shorts every single day with flip-flops. I'll be out on my bike for fun. It'll be incredible.